You will be scanned as you enter the city. Okay.
I do find that statue pleasing. I wonder if it matches the original vision of the artist, or if they changed the design as they worked on it. Yes, you need me?
I've heard some hostile camps were wiped off the map by you. I wish there were more good people like you out there.
Even the most cutthroat of fleet pirates fear the Mantis. It has been many years since we've heard any report
I
from
do appreciate that not
until
every
now.
legal plan was
You
plowed
see
under
security
the
interrogated
roof.
spacers who claim that Mantis is back and thirsty for righteous vengeance. Security says that this is just the latest retelling of a ghost story. But for myself, I hope it's real. Go get 'em, Mantis.
Again, who do you think will be the first to ask us questions? Mateo or Noel?
I really thought you'd understand where I'm coming from, Sam.
I just think you should give it a little more thought, okay?
You're gonna tell me it's a bad idea too?
Mateo, that's not what I said.
I really thought you'd understand where I'm coming from, Sam.
Hello.
Well,
Professor.
okay, fine. Let's see what he
Walter
says.
Stroud. How may I assist you?
Hey, you have a second? Sam and I were just having a, discussion, and I wanted someone else's input.
At present,
I think it's more accurate to say that you and I have now both been cornered, but sure.
parameters.
I'd like to, get in shape, do some working out. So I asked Vladimir for some tips, and he basically said weightlifting was a bad idea.
Are you sure that's what he said, or is it just what you heard?
Anyway, so I wanted to get Sam's opinion on it, and he pretty much said the same thing.
Okay, since now you've been fully roped into this, let's all just take a step back. I had simply pointed out that if you take a look at Mateo, weightlifting isn't necessarily the first thing that comes to mind. I was wondering whether there might be a better option for him, and just sort of musing in general about the idea of sticking to things you're inclined to, versus going out and trying something completely new. Well, what's your take on it? You think it's better to stick to what you know, or to take any opportunity to try something that's maybe outside your comfort zone? I feel like maybe you dodged the question there, but okay. Also, I bet you 10 credits Vlad said something similar.
Of course I'd be careful. Anyway, thanks. I think I'm gonna try it. And don't worry, I'll be sure and ask Vladimir for pointers.
Hey, we'll support you no matter what. Just don't want to see you get hurt is all.
Yeah, I know. Thanks. And maybe, if I need a spotter.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Bet you never expected to end up involved in something like this. Unity. Huh. That's an important concept in Keeper Aquilas' speeches. You think it's connected? Well, it could be. But what have we got to lose? I'll meet you there.
I'd like to talk... to you about something when you have the chance.
Captain Reynolds, may I be of assistance on your ship?
Ah, yes. They build a monument to the people they lost, but not the people they killed.
Wish that bartender at the viewport would stop complaining to security. I don't know what she lost, but she won't get it back by annoying us.
Yes, exactly. It's like...
When someone insults you, you want to just beat the shit out of them sometimes, but you don't.
Well, not quite what I was thinking, but that's actually a great example, Marcus. The man in the story was cruel. Do you know why he was cruel? You must feel what he feels, understand his pain, accept it, and deliver it not back upon him.
Empathy. You mean empathy? But you say it like it's easy. Like anyone can just love a terrible person who has been terrible to them.
Yeah, why even bother? I mean, isn't the cycle of humanity peace and war back and forth, like forever? Seems kind of pointless to try so hard for something that won't last. Nothing ever really changes.
It's not easy, no, but necessary. Because you see, everything has changed. God has given us the intelligence, the ingenuity to reach into the stars, to travel his path, to truly find him. But we can't do it alone. The only way is through
Unity.
Ah, yes, Andreas. Yes. Unity. Well, I'm sure you all have other things to do. Thank you for taking the time to stop and talk with me.
He's giving me a lot to think about.
Are you a member? Keeper Aquilas seems to know what he's talking about.
Keeper Aquilas, can we have a moment?
Oh, Mateo. It's been too long. How are your parents? Your mother still struggling with that azalea garden?
No, she figured that out a while ago. Had to adjust the pH levels in the soil. But, Keeper, I didn't come to catch up.
Oh. Well, what's on both your minds? Oh. Yeah. How humanity comes together. How we are to love each other even as our universe becomes even more complex.
That's not exactly what we mean. Keeper, when you talk about unity, well, does it mean anything else? Something secret?
Perhaps you should talk about this inside. Now that we have a little privacy... I see. Yes, you are quite correct.
Wait, what? I've never heard of this story before. And how come you know about it when I don't?
Forgive us, Mateo. We have a bit more history than you might realize. If you're already familiar with the story, then I assume you know where to go, and with whom you need to meet. Or, considering you are walking Constellation's path, perhaps you feel the need to hear the story again. Retrace your steps. Very well. Good luck on your journey.
I am deeply confused.
Why don't you stay behind, Mateo? Your friend has a long trip ahead of him, and I owe you a few explanations myself.
Demolished the structure, even if diplomacy has ended for now. It may not have been their intention, but it represents hope.
Those corporate skills. Ryujin is hiring the best and brightest of today for our future tomorrow. Submit your application now to the nearest kiosk.
Always a satisfying moment.
Pressure holding. Takeoff looks coming. Looks peaceful from up here, doesn't it? Switching over to standard engines.
Well, look who it is. I think it's time you, me, and the emissary have a chat. Alone. Because we all have our secrets to keep, don't we? Good. We
Port is clear. We're docked.
So it's finally happened, hasn't it? I had a feeling when you slipped through my grasp at New Atlantis. But I'm a step behind, aren't I?
You're Starborn. More than that. You're reliving your old life. You could have told Constellation what you are, but you didn't. Why? No, but you owe yourself one. Do you think pretending to be your old self is what's best for you?
Oh, let it go. We've all retraced ourselves a few dozen or so times. I say, we play along with your little reincarnation. The more freedom you have, the more new things happen. Exactly. That's what we all want, isn't it? Who needs rules when we have infinity?
If you insist on walking this path, then walk it fully. Go to the moon. Follow its secrets to the next artifact. Maybe remembering what happens to Earth will give you focus. Very well. You'll also need to return to Constellation and find the artifacts in the fringes of space. They'll be expecting you to tell them about the Unity.
And it might be best to give them the version where you're still human, and not a Starborn that's been lying to them this whole time.
Here, I have something for you. No obligation. I wanted to. I saw it earlier and thought you might like it. Or find it useful. Or, well, whatever. Of course. We are partners, are we not? I will keep an eye out in the future. And if I see something, I might hold on to it for you.
working hard, Captain.
We're loose. I will never get tired of that.
Landing site's clear. All green here.
to think that towers like this were once absolutely essential to ensuring our survival. And now here they are, buried and forgotten. Perhaps an elevator will allow us to access what lies beneath all this dust. Work would not have been done if the ship had not meant to launch. A shame. Seems the only thing lacking is power. With it, this elevator should still function. Whoever once used this room probably never could have imagined all that has happened since it was built.
Station log. Dr. Judith Tatienne. The recent delivery from Mars is unsettling. I was expecting rock samples or maybe fossils of microbial life. Instead, Dr. Victor Isa comes with 2 members of the military. Everything they brought back is under wraps. What could a theoretical physicist need with a sample from Mars? Station log. Dr. Judith Tatienne. I've been trying to cozy up to Dr. Isa, Victor, to see what is going on. His team has completely commandeered one of the labs with those 2 military handlers, checking who comes in and out. I joked that maybe he found a little gray man and was doing an autopsy, and he grew very pale. 2 days later, he sends me a request asking for more information on my background in materials science, metallurgical engineering. Oh, we have a meeting tomorrow. I think I'm being invited into the lab. Station log. Dr. Judith Tatienne. I have never been so nervous since I defended my dissertation. 4 hours talking to Victor and his team about theoretical metals, atomic bonding, even a half-hour divergence into magnetism that I'm pretty sure was to throw me off the trail of what we were actually talking about. Then, I got to see the lab. I don't know how much I should say, but the periodic table just got thrown out the window.
NASA was very proud of all that it accomplished. I suppose they had a right to be.
don't understand where these calculations came from.
There's something wrong with the math? I think it's quite straightforward.
That's not what I'm asking. We've had no success extracting even a sample of material from the object. No explanation for the gravitational effects, no motion graph to explain its harmonic frequencies. I can't even establish a melting point.
Judith.
But you've had me building these prototype colliders for months. And now you want me to pump helium-3 into it based on this equation you've written on a goddamn napkin?
I just need you to trust me.
I have been trusting you. We keep slamming our heads against a brick wall, getting nothing. And you keep coming up with something
Looks
new
like
to try.
early testing
like,
for
you know what's going to
planetary
happen.
habitats.
Where are you getting your information,
The
Victor?
looks on their faces
I'm
if we could
sorry,
show them
Judith,
all that we have learned.
Look, not here, okay? Somewhere off base. I'll tell you everything. But I'm not lying, okay? We're going to discover something important here. I promise.
This facility covered quite a range of disciplines, but I must not been kind to it. I hope you can succeed at that before we are discovered.
came by. Command zone. Outgoing fire. Keep clear.
Do you think Vasco would see his likeness in this model? The scope of this facility is massive. I wonder how many knew how big it really was.
Project Log, Dr. Victor Isa. We turned on the prototype today. The gravitational field around it began to fold as we long suspected. Complete reversal of gravitational pull was observed on dozens of loose objects around the lab. I'm setting up a meeting with the directors to propose a larger test. The prototype proves we don't need the original anymore, but further work is going to have to take place in space. Somewhere with abundant helium-3 and with a civilian partner. Someone with access to large-scale manufacturing resources and computational equipment. Engineering gravitational folds pulling the far side of the solar system closer to us. It's all going to be possible.
Project Log, Dr. Judith Tatian. I watched the gravjet tests from the moon today. It was the first time we were able to talk to the team at Nova Galactic directly. So many things were under wraps before, but now everyone wants all the publicity they can get. I'm already seeing proposals for manufacturing androids of drives, expeditions to Alpha Centauri and beyond. It's also overwhelming and worrying. It could take years. Decades before we know what all the side effects of operating a grav drive can be. But no one wants to hear that right now. Like a bunch of pioneers racing towards the edges of the frontier without knowing about the grizzly bears in the mountains.
the artifact, if it is here. We should not give up now. How quickly can you get that done? I think you may be trying to take a little too much on. Literally. You have my attention. If I can take a few things. All right, then.
I never actually got to visit your labs back when we were working on the grav drive projects.
Seems like ancient history now. Only thing we're doing these days is launching weather satellites.
Guess this is as good a retirement as any. Now, Project Demeter, you want our help manufacturing scanners to better track these new meteorological patterns we're seeing.
Our guess is that the poles might be naturally shifting, causing some gravitational fluctuations that are throwing off our old models.
Why do you need the scanning tolerances to be so small? What are you trying to find?
I just want to be sure. It's not like we're doing much these days anyway. The glory days are over. Why not give ourselves a challenge before they write us off in the history books?
I know what I'm seeing, Victor. The data coming back from these satellites is very clear. It's the grav drives.
All those jumps from the moon. At this rate, Earth's atmosphere is going to start sputtering out into space.
Can the drives be fixed?
I'm working on some designs that should discreetly solve the problem. under the guise of an emergency update to the fueling pumps.
We're talking about the end of Earth, and you're trying to be subtle about it.
Judith, the last thing we need is people losing faith in grav drive technology. That might be our only option.
To what? Are you seriously saying we should abandon Earth?
The timeline is under 50 years. A blink of an eye for a planet, but more than enough time for a human exodus.
And what do we tell people?
We say it's an act of God, one that science has found a solution for. Time for humanity to take its place in the stars.
You knew, didn't you? You lied to me. All this time, I dedicated my life to this discovery, Victor. And you knew we were going to kill off our planet?
You haven't seen the future I've seen. There's an infinite expanse of promise out there. A meteor could have hit Earth, a plague, another world war. Colonizing other galaxies secures humanity's future for all coming generations, across all time.
At the expense of our home.
Stop it, both of you. All that matters is building enough ships to get everyone off this planet. And we need to start now.
I'll draft up a statement. We'll need to address the entire international community. I'm sorry, Judith.
There isn't a planet in this universe that will be far enough away from you, Victor. We are never speaking again after this is over.
My name is Dr. Victor Isa. And if you're listening to this, then you probably already know the truth. I was young when I first headed the retrieval team of an odd gravitational anomaly on Mars. But I kept what really happened that day hidden from everyone except one other person. Even she didn't believe me at first. But I have no reason to lie to anyone now, so I hope you'll accept this confession, whoever you are. When I touched the anomaly, I experienced 12 days of lost time. I met myself. He told me everything that has since come true. The grav drive equations, the tests on the moon, Earth's atmosphere sputtering away because of what we had done. But he also told me about a city thriving on a planet orbiting a distant star. Human culture, art, music, lifestyles evolving and shining brightly across all of space. What price would I be willing to pay for that future? Maybe you don't believe me. Maybe Judith was right and I'm just a coward who wants to believe his mistakes were justified. But everyone has forgotten about the real origins of the grav drive, this artifact from Mars. I hope you make better use of it than I
did. It is all connected. The artifacts, grav drives, our very existence here in the settled systems. How did we not see it before now? What did you need? Goodbye.